archery. Power and precision, passion and perseverance, dedication and devotion, intensity and integrity. Archery, the ultimate sporting challenge.
Farklı olmak için kendi yolunu çiz. Beklentileri aştığında ilham verirsin. Yeni Hyundai Elantra.
When you close your eyes, what do you see? Do you see determination, commitment, and self-sacrifice? Do you see yourself pushing beyond the very limits, ready to conquer anything? This is my playground. What's yours?
Sen mi güce hükmediyorsun? Yoksa güç cazibesiyle sana mı hükmediyor? Güce hükmediyorsan gerçekten güçlüsün. Yeni Hyundai Tucson.
When you close your eyes, what do you see? Do you see determination, commitment, and self-sacrifice? Do you see yourself pushing beyond the very limits, ready to conquer anything?
Summer has arrived on the Turkish coast, and so have more than 500 of the world's top archers. The heat is on along the rugged shores of the Mediterranean, where the wind can play tricks, sometimes pushing arrows slightly off course. All the more reason to block out the dazzling scenery. There has to be total concentration on those gold rings 70 meters away. So sightseeing will have to wait. There's more work to be done here at Stage 3 of World Archery's World Cup Tour. Merhaba, my friends. Hola, ni hao, bonjour, konnichiwa, grietzi, privyet, shalom, annyeonghaseyo, guten tag, dzień dobry, buongiorno, good day, mates, and welcome to the third and final regular season stop on this year's Outdoor World Cup Tour, sponsored by Hyundai, stretching from spring through summer and into the fall with the World Cup finals in Denmark come September. From Kontiolahti Beach, we bid you good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it may be, and wherever you may be in this wide, wide world of ours. We're glad to have you with us here on Archery TV. Along with Crispin Duenas from Canada, I'm Carl Archie, and this being an Olympic year, only 3 stages on the tour instead of 4, fewer chances to pick up points to qualify for the World Cup finals. But of course, Crispin, this was also the last chance for the teams and the individuals to pick up those qualifying points and get their berth for the Olympic Games in Rio. That was really the big story here this week.
Yeah, this is just been a crazy, absolutely high-scoring World Cup that I have seen in the history that I've been competing here. For example, the Recurve men's scores at the cut of 104 places, the score was 646 to beat. And I believe that we had about 6 people who had to shoot off for that 104th spot just to make the cut coming into the eliminations. So the level in the recurve men, in my experience, has gone up. But also looking at the statistics of how many people you have here, what the level of archery is in the world, I'm not surprised, but it is kind of eye-opening just to see it take place in front of me. That being said, all the people who are the great shooters are still on the top. So that just doesn't mean that any dark horse can come out of anywhere. You still have to shoot phenomenally well to be able to compete and get to the final stages that we're going to see here.
The heat is on. It's been on all week. It's been on this weekend, literally and figuratively. It's close to 40 degrees Celsius as we get set now for the mixed team competition. In mixed teams, 2 athletes, 1 male, 1 female per country. We use the set system for recurve mixed team competition to determine the outcome. 2 points for winning a set, 1 point for splitting. First to 5 points total is your winner. Now, the mixed team bronze medal match to get things started here in the afternoon, and it will be number 2 Italy. Number 2 coming out of qualifying, taking the field first, Italy with a 6-love win over Brazil this week, a 5-1 win over Mexico, before losing to India by the score of 5-1. Gwendolina Sartori and Mauro Nespoli teaming up out here on the field of battle against Chinese Taipei, the team that qualified 4th this week. They survived a shoot-off with Kazakhstan, then had a 5-1 win over Germany before losing to Korea 5-3. A loss, but that's impressive. 5-3?
5-3 against
Considering
Korea.
the competition, 5-3 is not bad, Crispin.
Yeah, it's something that every country kind of takes pride in, especially when you're able to take a set off of Korea, let alone 2 sets. But 5-3 means that they took a set and they tied a set at the very best. So being able to do that against the Koreans in an Olympic year at the World Cup before the Olympics is definitely a great feat. Just because I know that for a fact that it is harder to make a Korean national team than it is to win the Olympics. So you're going against their absolute cream of the crop, and to be able to do that at this stage, at this point in the year, with the conditions that we've had, is truly amazing.
It says a lot and speaks well of Tanya Ting and Wei Chun Heng. Tanya Ting, 22 years old, ranked 3rd in the world, and Wei Chun Heng, 21 years old, ranked 12th in the world. These two have become a real factor in mixed team competition so far on this year's Hyundai World Cup Tour. So here we go, the mixed team bronze medal match. Italy, Chinese Taipei, and Mauro Nespoli to shoot first.
Bravo, 10.
And that's a good start from our Nespoli. I'm looking at I had a look around the venue before we came down here, and I noticed that the field of play is in the same direction, same orientation as the practice field. So in my opinion, there probably won't be a lot of excuses for having errant arrows, because literally the practice field is just off to the left of your screen. You
It's
can
a
see
slight
those targets.
transition.
It's a slight transition. There's going to be a little bit more blockage because of the stands and everything, but there's no change in sun direction. There's no change in wind. So that should be a really good factor for lots of good scoring matches this
That being
afternoon.
said, we've seen a couple of 8s already.
Yes, and I was watching the matches this morning and noticing that a lot of people were starting out right. And I was wondering if that was just because of the different conditions of the stands and the tribunes that are surrounding the archers. Maybe they're not feeling the wind as well as they do on the practice range that's off to the left there. And that can have a big factor. If the archer doesn't feel the wind, then they can't tell what it's doing, and they have to rely on possibly their coach or their other teammate to look at the flags and tell them, hey, the wind is going, aim over on this side, and there's another right 8. So my gut feeling is that they might not be able to feel the wind on the shooting line, but the wind is probably doing the same thing downrange. As what it was on the practice field.
So far, only 110 out of the first 5 shots. Gwendolina Sartori, who's having an excellent summer on the outdoor circuit, puts up a 9 as the shadows start to grow here. Sartori coming away with a medal this morning in the women's team competition, women's bronze medal.
That's a very excellent shot. That's the closest shot to the middle that we've seen this afternoon so far. And something to note is Tanya Ting is wearing long sleeves, long pants, long sleeves, and they're black. I don't know why they're black because it's pretty hot out here, but some people might say, hey, if they're wearing long sleeves and pants, maybe it's not as hot as we think it is. But you know what? It's
toasty.
Above 40 degrees Celsius for people who are using the metric system. And what a lot of the archers have reverted to doing here is covering up from the sun, just because it's a lot easier to keep yourself cooler if the sun's not directly contacting your skin, and the fabric itself can pull the moisture off the skin and actually keep you cooler. That being said, I don't know why she's wearing black, because that's actually a very hot color. And I know that when I was shooting on the field of play, I was trying to keep my skin out of the sun, because you can start to suffer the effects of heat a lot quicker.
We've seen sunstroke already.
We have seen sunstroke already. And it looks like the judges and coach, or the archers' agents downrange, are having a little bit of a disagreement. I'm not really sure what was going on there, but the Chinese Taipei coach kind of looked puzzled with a call. And we're going to have to see what happens here. As far as we can tell, it's tied at 1 set point apiece.
Target judges, by the way, are excuse me, Mike Cullenber and Katie Lipscomb. And the line judge for this match is the Dane Fleming Skilborg. And so a little bit of a hold-up in action right now. Should take a look at some of the beautiful sights nearby, just a few feet away from our position here. We could be broadcasting from the water. We would be.
I think a lot of archers would love to be a little bit closer to the water, because after their victory, they could just
jump
flop into the Mediterranean. But I do know that the ground is very hot. That beach is covered in rocks and pebbles. They're smooth.
Smooth pebbles,
but they get hot, very, very hot.
All the more reason to get into the Mediterranean Sea. Well, nothing changes on the scoreboard. We're tied at 35 after that first set. So they split the set points, and actually we're tied 1-1 in the match. As Italy shoots first again. Sartori, who made it to the bronze medal match individually in Medellin.
She's been having a good couple of World Cups this past month, I should say, because it's been a very, very condensed season for all of us. And she's been able to keep her head in the game and keep her shooting level really high. Same with Tanya Ting. I don't know how she does it, but she's very, very good at what she does.
Tanya Ting with another 10.
There's a little bit of a longer hold for Mr. Wei, and I think I can see why the coach of the Chinese Taipei team was looking a little confused. There was an arrow at about 1 o'clock on the 9-8 line, and there might have been an unfavorable call on that shot. And yeah, it looks like from their first score, from the first end, or the set, sorry, was 8-9, 10-8. So I think the coach thought that one of those 8s should have been a 9, but they didn't get it, which led to the tied score.
After the 10 by Nespoli, shot that drifts a little bit lower into the 8 ring. And Chinese Taipei with an opportunity right now.
2 9s will take the set. There's one of them.
One. Now Wei Chun-heng.
It's interesting, he's got a yellow bow, and I heard you mentioning this morning that the Korean men were all shooting yellow bows, and maybe he's following suit.
It works.
So 9, that's all he needed, and that's the set going to Chinese Taipei. Now 3-1 in favor of Chinese Taipei. Italy needs to win this next set. If they tie it, they'll still be in it, but to win it would actually keep them a little bit more alive than just tying. If Chinese Taipei wins this next set, then they will win this match. And I'm really sure that the archers would love to get out of the sun
As quickly as possible.
as quickly as possible. So Chinese Taipei will be looking to do that because it is very hot out there. I'm glad that they're drinking lots of water, but I'm sure Italy would love to keep things rolling and make sure that they draw this match out so that they can win it. They need to win the next 2 sets in order to win.
Recapping what's happened so far this season on the World Cup Tour in Shanghai at stage 1, it was India knocking off Korea 5-4 in a shoot-off. Then in Medellin at stage 2, it was Taipei taking the measure of Brazil. A year ago here in Antalya, it was Japan defeating Chinese Taipei. So the 2 from Taipei trying to make amends for what happened last year here on Konyaaltı Beach. And right now, Tanya Ting and Wei Chun-heng with a 3-1 advantage. Fleming Skilborg signaling the go-ahead for these 2 teams. Mauro Nespoli, 28 years old, ranked 10th in the world. Team silver medalist at the World Championships in Copenhagen last year.
Also Olympic gold medalist.
Exactly.
In the team.
On the team in London that defeated the United States for the gold medal. And another 10 for Mauro Nespoli.
And he's had a reputation amongst the men recurve on the field of play as having one of the highest bow poundages out there. At one point, he was pulling 60 pounds back on the bow. And I know for men, usually the men are shooting about in the order of 50 pounds, but for him to have an extra 10-pound advantage over all the men was just astounding for some of us, and we were wondering how he got his equipment to tune, but he made it work. I believe right now he's actually lowered the poundage just a bit. I think he's lowered it to 55 or something. But it's truly, you have to stay fit. Very, very fit to be able to do that and handle that weight.
How long can you hold at 60 pounds?
You shouldn't hold very long.
No, I would not think so. I'm not sure I could get 60 pounds drawn back.
I don't think I could pick up a 60-pound dumbbell and hold it still. And Italy has a 1-point lead, 19-18, halfway through this set.
Good look at Mauro Nespoli, who picked up a mixed team silver medal here in Antalya back in 2012, 4 years ago.
Otto basso destra,
First one that got away from him.
più destra da basso.
And looking at the flags downrange, you do see that they are quartering off to the right. It's kind of a tailwind plus right wind. That could be accounting for the right arrows that we're seeing from Team Italy. That's another right arrow. So the majority of their group, I think they've only got 1 or 2 arrows that are on the left side of the midline of the target.
So they are vulnerable right now.
Ma tutto destra.
And Chinese Taipei just needs 2 9s again to win. And Tanya Ting is just saying, no, 2 9s aren't, that's not good enough.
Let's make it an 8. Let's make it easy for Wei Chun-heng. Wei Chun-heng with the chance to put it away, needing just 8.
There it is.
Caught the 10 line.
9 or 10, it doesn't even matter because they win, and bronze medal goes to Chinese Taipei.
And they have really, really become a major factor in mixed team competition so far this summer. That's back-to-back bronze medals at Medellin and here in Antalya.
That's really good shooting from both of them, showing that they've got power in both their men and their women's categories. So not to discount Italy. Italy's been shooting very, very well, especially Nespoli and Sartori. And it's just unfortunate that they weren't able to take this one from Chinese Taipei, but Chinese Taipei has had a little bit more experience on the field of play in these matches. So congrats to them, and a well-deserved bronze.
Difference in that third set, pair of 8s for Italy. Meanwhile, Chinese Taipei with the 10 and 3 9s. So they outscore Chinese Taipei 37-35 in that third set. win that set, win the match 5-1. The bronze medal going to Chinese Taipei. So once again, we've only seen, in fact, going back to this morning, in case you're just joining us and weren't with us for the team competition earlier today, there was only one match this morning out of the 4 that went as far as 4 sets. All the others were decided in 3. This one also decided in 3.
Yeah.
People are making quick work of it today.
It was surprising because I remember watching the matches in Medellin, and I think on one of the days everything was 6-0 victories over for all the matches. So that's just, I had never seen that before. I'd always theorized that it could happen, and I thought at this level it's probably impossible because everybody at this level is at such a high state of shooting that anything can happen, and 6-0 is probably unlikely, but it has happened, and I'm willing to bet it will happen again.
What's the best match you've seen this season so far? And we've still got some more to go. I've got one in mind, but I want to hear what you think.
Oh, man. That's
I'll
a really good
I'll
question.
tell you mine.
I don't think I
I'll
can
tell you
actually
mine.
think of one, yeah.
The match between Sarah Lopez and Crystal Govin in Medellin.
Yes, that was a good match.
I thought it was a great match.
Yeah, bring it down to the tiebreaker for the gold medal.
Oh, it was a great match. Great drama, great suspense, and it was on Sarah's home soil, her native country, which added a little bit more to it.
And I was trying to come up with a term for it because Sarah Lopez has won all 3 World Cup stages this year, and she's going to the World Cup final to defend her title. So if she defends her title, what do you call that? In tennis, it's a Grand Slam, but I don't know what we call it in archery.
We've got to come up with something for that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, between the two of us, we might have half a chance. Maybe. Let's call Hugh McDonald and find out if we can get him in on the conversation.
We could do that.
You would come up with something. We're coming up with the the mixed team gold medal match right now. And this is India. India qualifying 6th this week with wins over Turkey 5-1. Took a tiebreaker from the Russians by 1 and then scored a 5-1 win over Italy. Deepika Kumari, 22 years old, ranked 5th in the world, teaming up with Atanu Das, who's 24 years old, ranked 52nd in the world. 2 very talented young archers, and you have to remind yourself just how young. I mean, Deepika's been around for so long, you forget she's 22, and Atanu Das is just 24.
Yeah, the age range of really excellent archers is starting to shift a little bit downward. I'm still from a generation where lots of the good archers were between 30 to 35.
Right.
But now again, the Korean team is a great example of that, and we're going to find out their ages as soon as they get their bows down and onto the line.
They mature more quickly now. Korea, the #1 qualifier, of course. With a 6-2 win over Spain, they took a tiebreaker from the United States during the elimination rounds, and then had a 5-3 win over Chinese Taipei. And a powerhouse lineup once again. It's always a powerhouse lineup. 2 excellent archers out there. Chae Sun, 19 years old, ranked #1 amongst the women in recurve competition, and Kuban Chan, who's ranked #1 in the world. Actually, I think Kuban Chan is 9th in the world.
Either way, he's still very young. I believe he's 22. And he's an excellent, excellent shooter. I think he'll be going for the gold medal later on today in the individual matches.
And he is 9th in the world. So Kuban Chan and Chae Sun. Mr. Koo, averaging 9.4 points per arrow.
And again, starting off to the right. So I think there is an external factor on the field of play that is affecting the archers, and everybody's just looking at the flag downrange, seeing that the flag on top of the target is not moving, but everything else is making everything to the right of the center line of the target.
Chae Sun with a 10. So a great opening salvo for Team Korea here in the mixed team gold medal match. India trying to answer. Atanu Das dials up a 9.
He looked like he wasn't very happy with that shot, but luckily he was nice and strong off the off the string with his follow through, and that led it into the gold.
Now Deepika Kumari.
Hello.
Well, that is really strange because that shot didn't look that bad to me. So
Deepika had her struggles this morning in that first match of the day, the women's bronze medal match. India falling to Italy 5-1.
Deepika is going to be able to come back from that. I know she's a strong enough shooter to be able to do this, but it is not good to give Korea that little bit of an open door this early in the match. Luckily, it's set play, so she can recover. But right
And
now,
they'll have to recover.
because Korea just clinched that set, and these are just for practice.
उधर ही थोड़ा सा गेम है ना.
So Kumari.
There she goes, and that's
Yeah,
a good
she made a
recovery.
good correction.
And I'm trying to look onto the field of play from our vantage point, which is just to the left of the shooting line. And looking at those flags moving, there isn't a strong enough wind for me to definitively say that there's something affecting the archers, but clearly something is going on down on the shooting field. And I'm really sorry that I can't actually pinpoint it right now, but it's just one of those things that happens on an archery field. And I mean, my experience in London, it was that there were a couple windsocks downrange, and during my match at one point, one windsock was pointed to the left and one windsock was pointed to the right, and they were about 10 feet apart. So sometimes you just can't...
What's a guy to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just can't read what exactly is going on the field of play. Just you have to aim in the middle and execute your strong shot.
And it was good to see Deepika Kumari come back with a strong shot after that opening 6. She has so much pressure on her in her own country. Expectations are so high for her.
Yeah.
And a world of talent. And again, only 22 years old. And you look at her track record, a silver medalist at the World Cup Finals in Paris in 2013. Silver medalist at the 2012 World Cup Finals in Tokyo. Silver medalist at the 2011 World Cup Finals in Istanbul. So I think the expectations got built up so high for her that if she's not winning gold all the time, then people are surprised.
Yeah.
Or they're disappointed. That's a lot of pressure for somebody who's 22 years old. And again, that's what this sport's all about, right? Pressure?
It is about how to handle yourself and how you handle the pressure. And I think she looks like a very stoic type person that just says, okay, this happened, move on, let's go, and on to the next. So that's unfortunately some of the attitude that you have to have with this. Sometimes you just can't be a person who cares about absolutely everything in some respects, but in other respects you do have to take that amount of care and just being that type of nitpicky person to make sure that, you know, this is exactly this way and this is exactly this way, but I'm not going to think about this other thing that could possibly affect your performance.
1 point advantage for Korea. The Koreans already up 2-0 in the match as Atanu Das draws it back. And a big shot for Das.
And India actually has an 8-star, which was, I believe, Deepika's first shot. And I think it's about 1 o'clock.
पूल में फिनिश करेगी शॉट को.
And that caught the line. That's definitely a 9. So we're saying that India has either 36 or 37 points. And if Korea were to shoot 2 10s right now, then they could lock down that set.
That would be academic. Instead of 9, 3 straight 9s now for Korea.
And at best, we can have a tie.
이선이 화이팅. 자신 있게.
So a 9 by Chemi's son. It's either a tie or the set has gone to
India.
India.
So now this is where the judges come into play, and for anybody who hasn't watched World Archery before, you can see that the archers don't actually go down to collect their arrows. They have an archer's agent who's down by the target right now with the target judge, and what they do is when the arrows are landing on the target while the match is going on, they're recording the values that they can see from their vantage point in a camera that's placed under the target. So you can see them looking at the arrow very closely. I believe that might be Mike Cullenber from the United States. And he is looking very closely at those arrows because this can have a big impact on who has won this set, or it will have a big impact. And you can see the Indian coach is watching closely. The Korean coach is standing back, just making sure. And I'm sure Mike is telling the Indian coach to please give him some space.
Little bit of breathing room. So Mike Cullenber coming away after inspecting those arrows. And an anxious moment for Deepika Kumari as well as Utanu Das. Waiting for the judge's verdict. By the way, the line judge for this match is Shahrzad Alahari from Iran.
And I think I just heard it confirmed on the field of play that it was in fact a tie. And there we have it, it's official. They had tied in set points.
So still a 2-point advantage in the match for Korea. And the Koreans can close it out if they take this next set. Up to India to keep it going. Try to tie this match up.
That's a very good shot from Mr. Das.
Drops one in the 10 ring.
And it's good for him because he's going to be out here later on today in another medal match in the individual competition, I believe.
And Deepika.
9 or 10.
Look like a 10. She thinks it's a 10.
And our spotters think it's a 10, so...
Sometimes with the shadows, it's tough to tell.
Yeah, I couldn't tell from our vantage point, but I can see our spotters zooming in on that target right now in the scoring booth. But that's a 10 from Korea.
So interesting. Once somebody else shoots a 10, it just raises the bar and...
turns up the heat, metaphorically.
Yeah, and it brings out the best. Especially when you're shooting against Korea and you challenge Korea. They dial it up another notch and they do it again. So India's feeling pretty good about themselves. Hey, we shot a couple of 10s.
And then Korea says, okay, let's turn it on here and make sure that we maintain our lead. And there we go. It's changed to 9-star for India on the second shot.
Okay.
It's a 9 for sure.
That may be critical. We will wait and see. Utanu Das picked up a team silver medal and a mixed team bronze stage 1 in Shanghai this year. Will pick up a medal today, but he's hoping it's gold. Chances are it may not happen. Again, India very vulnerable and in jeopardy right now as Kuban Chand lines up his next shot, collects a 9.
And another 9 to win for sure outright.
It's all on the shoulders of Chae Sun, number 1 in the world. The 19-year-old who had 3 gold medals at Medellin just last month is headed for the Olympics and is headed for the top of the podium here in Antalya once again as she sews it up with a 9 to win the mixed team gold medal.
So the 9 to win came with a little bit of an asterisk again, because I think they're waiting for the official call just to make sure that this match is definitely over. And, you know that saying, it ain't over until it's over. And
you think they'll change it to a 10? What's your gut feeling?
I thought it looked out from our vantage point. And we're going to see what the judge says.
Mike Cullenber.
And there's official. Korea has just won the gold medal, so congratulations to Korea.
The victory goes to Korea. Another gold medal for the Koreans. And it is their 3rd of the day. Men's team, women's team, mixed team. 3 gold medals already, and we've still got
2 more potential.
Potentially. And Kuban Chan will be going for the men's gold medal a little bit later on against his teammate Lee Sung-yun.
So that's a definite another gold medal for the men's recurve. And then in the women's match,
I believe it is, let me look down in my schedule. I want to say Chemi Sun. Chemi Sun will compete against Ksenia Perova.
okay, so that one isn't a definite guarantee yet. It is a chance. So definitely Korea is going home with 4 gold medals. And we'll see what happens in the women's individual gold medal final. But congratulations, that was very, very good shooting from Team India to come back, especially from Deepika Kumari's first arrow, which was a 6, and it was way out to the right, doing exactly what everybody else's arrows were doing, just a little bit of an exaggeration of it. But they came back, she came back after that with a 10 to be able to give herself that confidence and that know-how that, you know, I'm here on the field, this is my job, I shoot 10s, and she did it, and they were able to give Korea a run for their money. When they shot well, Korea definitely had to put it together in order to make sure that they guaranteed their lead wasn't in jeopardy.
It is just so impressive to watch Korea, and when they are challenged, how they're able to raise the level of their game and meet that challenge, and they did that. After it appeared as though India had fired up a pair of 10s, Korea came right back with a pair of 10s of their own.
Solid 10s, nothing on the line.
No. And met the challenge, and they go on and win it 5-1. So the first 2 matches decided by similar scores, both in 3 sets. 5-1, Korea defeating India for the gold medal, and Chinese Taipei knocking off Italy for the mixed team bronze medal. So we are done with the team competition, and now we get to the individual medal matches for the women and the men. There you see the brackets and how we got to this point for the final matches on the women's side. By the way, in individual competition, 5 sets, 3 arrows per archer per sets at 70 meters. 2 points awarded for winning a set, 1 for a tie. First archer to score 6 points. 6 points or more wins the match in the middle. If there's a tie, they'll have a 1 arrow shoot-off. And so we get set now for the women's bronze medal match. And again, Korea represented in this bronze medal match by Chung Hae-jin, who was the number 4 qualifier this week, worked her way through the elimination rounds and got to this match. Chung Hae-jin, 29 years old, 6th in the world, averaging 9.2 per arrow, 29 wins on her resume, one of those a tiebreaker, and a team gold medalist from last month in Medellin. And she will be taking on Tanya Ting, who we saw just moments ago, a great archer from Chinese Taipei, who helped wrap up the mixed team bronze medal. Back out there with her big sun hat, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, it definitely puts a nice big shade and canopy over everything down to the neck pretty much. And I see a lot more archers starting to sport those big brims. And it definitely keeps a lot of sun off of their face.
Makes a lot of sense. There she is, Tanya Ting, who defeated Kibo Bae of Korea 7-3 before losing to Ksenia Perova 6-4 in the semifinals. So the 22-year-old is ranked 3rd in the world, been picking up a lot of medals. There's our line judge, Maria Larkina. She'll be on the line as Chung Hae-jin will be on target number 1, Tanya Ting on target number 2. Chung Hae-jin, a member of that Olympic team for Korea, headed for Rio. Tanya Ting, looking for another medal.
It's a very nice, quick shot. And she just needs to move her sight over and continue with that amount of confidence in that shot.
Okay, hey. 12-8.
Overcorrection?
A little bit, yeah, but that shot also looked just slightly longer than what she had done with her first shot. Sounded like a touch. Yep, it did.
Wow. Nice group.
That's a better correction.
Tanya Ting in position to take this first set, which she does. So the early lead going to Chinese Taipei. Earlier this year, it was Kim Chae-yun of Korea winning in Shanghai, blanking Maya Yeager. Then in Medellin, it was Tanya Ting in this very same women's bronze medal match. She defeated Gwendolina Sartori 6-4, so Tanya Ting trying to make it back-to-back, just as she did in mixed team.
And I have to say that she's not only been a great force to reckon with on the World Cup circuit, she's been great here at this tournament. And why I say that is because these archers, a lot of them have been out on this field for a long time today already. You've seen some of the archers here shooting the team rounds in the morning and coming back and shooting a mixed team and then coming back and shooting the individual matches. That starts to take a toll on some of the archers. I know that when myself and my team were shooting against other archers, we knew that sometimes we might have an advantage over the archers that we were shooting against if we knew that they had been on the field for a lot longer than we had. Because, I mean, 40 degrees Celsius is draining on anybody who goes out there.
At some point, there are diminishing returns. It's
Exactly.
good to be out there, getting the feel, the lay of the land, the experience, but yes, in these conditions, and it is scorching out there,
It can be very detrimental to your shooting and, unfortunately, your health.
down 2-0. Chung Hee-jin comes out strong. As does Tanya Ting, who tacks on another 10. So another 10 for Tan. And Chung Hee-jin puts up another 10 herself. Game on. Blinks ever so slightly.
And she can clinch this set with a 10.
Consider it clinched, yes. And just like that, a reversal of fortunes. Chung Hee-jin right back into the match. And Tanya Ting finds herself tied up at 2 apiece in the match.
Oh, and sometimes that's hurtful right there. Shooting at 29 and not getting anything for that. And I've been in that situation before.
Nada. Yeah.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But, you know, it's a fact of life, especially on this field of play. When you're shooting against somebody like Chung Hee-jin, it's just like she'll shoot a 30 and take away all your set points no matter what you do. And the best you could do is grab 1 off of that if you tie her. So, I mean, Tanya Ting is going to have to come back from that one if she's going to get herself back into the game. But I mean, like, she's not completely out of it, but to have a lead over Korean is kind of a good place to be. And she had that for the first set. Now they're tied. It's kind of like back to square and everything, and it'll be Chang shooting first. And she'll be out for blood now that she's got the momentum going.
So right now it's basically a 3-set match. All tied up at 2 apiece after the first 2 sets. Tanya Ting, Chung Hee-jin. Chung Hee-jin, 29 years old, ranked 6th in the world. Picked up a team silver and a mixed team gold medal in Antalya a year ago. Was a gold medalist here in Antalya 2 years ago. Picking up a team silver medal as well in 2014. So she has had success here on Coney Alti Beach. Did she catch that line?
I think she did.
Oh, so close. They change it on the scoreboard to a 10. Tanya Ting, much closer to the center. No doubt about that one.
She kind of fell back a little bit after that shot. It showed me that it was just a slight bit unbalanced, but still able to keep it in the gold.
So now an opportunity for Tanya Ting.
Exactly.
She can forge ahead. And she does. Advantage Tanya Ting.
高了一点点，12、12。
Needs a 10 just to put a little bit of pressure onto her. Very good shot.
Dials up the heat even more, as if it's not hot enough already. Can Tanya Ting come through? Needs a 10 here to take the set. Won't do it.
Oh,
We're tied. They split. And it remains tied at 3-all. Great match.
I had a feeling we were going to see some good shooting this afternoon just because of who's on this field and how high of a level of shooting you had to have just to get to this point. And here we are seeing exact evidence of that. And I mean, both these women are shooting just phenomenally given all the conditions that are on the field of play. And they are, I mean, if you just look at them, they're properly dressed for the occasion. They are not going to be suffering any heat stroke. They're covered up. They're making sure that they keep the sun off of them. They're doing everything smart in order to have the results that they need to have for themselves and that they want and that they desire. So they're doing everything possible to make sure that happens.
Tanya Ting picking up a silver medal, a mixed team silver medal, and a team gold medal at stage 1 in Shanghai back in the beginning of May. Then she picked up that individual bronze and a mixed team bronze medal in Medellin. Already has a mixed team bronze medal here this afternoon, and now going for an individual bronze medal. But boy, she's got a battle on her hands.
We have at
Chong Hae-jin.
least 2 sets to go in this match.
Tied at 3. Opening now for Tanya Ting after that 9 by Ms. Chung.
And this will be the longest recurve match that we have seen since probably Shanghai, actually.
It appears as though it's going to go the distance.
799。
All even.
That shot looked like it was a little forced on the backside. It didn't have that finesse that she usually has coming off the string, and I think that's why it popped a little high. She gave it a little bit too much energy, and it sailed a little high.
But that one sails high too.
Wow. We are pretty evenly matched so far. There we go, yep.
That could loom large.
OK 的，OK 的。
That could open this thing up. But Tanya Ting with the 10 could tie it. They could split again, and they're going to do it. They split.
漂亮。
How about that?
OK。
4 apiece.
And I mean, like, if you wanted to see archery, this is what you want to see. You want to see people who are fighting tooth and nail just to get that. This is bronze medal match, right? This is sometimes a more highly contested match than the gold medal match could be. And these two women are just showing us the absolute skill that you need to compete at this level. A lot of archers out there don't actually. Sometimes, I'm going to say this with a little bit of head hanging low, sometimes archers don't know the level that you actually need to have when you're shooting at a World Cup. Some people think that a World Cup is just, oh, it's just a World Cup or whatnot. But no, if you want to be good at a World Cup, this is what you have to do. If you're shooting 28s, sometimes 28 isn't good enough. And I've had to learn that experience firsthand. But that's the way things are going nowadays with archery.
So there's our situation going to the 5th set. This is the first match of the day to go this far. We're tied up at 4 apiece. Chong Hae-jin, who fell behind early in the match, dropped the first set. Tanya Ting has only had the lead once after that first set. And she's tied here in the 5th set now. Tied at 4 apiece in set points. Tied in this set at 9-all.
That was a little long. Still a good shot.
Paid off. Took her time. Didn't rush it. Tanya Ting trying to answer. There's the answer.
Now, will we see our first shoot-off of the day?
We may be headed for that. Final arrow of the 5th set.
9.
Oh, and the door is wide open now.
10 to win.
A 9, and we're going to the shoot-off. Tanya Ting.
10. Got it. Oh, wow.
She got it. What a match. What an effort. Tanya Ting coming up with the win on the final arrow of the match. It went the full 5, Crispin.
Oh my goodness, that is the okay. You want to talk about best matches that we've seen? That one is going at the top of my list right now. So congratulations to both women. I mean, it's heartbreaking for Chung that she doesn't come away with the medal, but Tanya Ting fought hard and she knew that she needed a 10 on that last arrow to win this and not go to the shoot-off, and she did that. So congratulations to Tanya Ting, bronze medalist here at the final stage of the World Cup circuit. And Chang Hai-jin, 4th place, but not a bad 4th place finish. That was definitely a very good match to watch.
So Tanya Ting gets the job done on the final shot of the final set, and she wins it. 6-4 your final score. Tanya Ting got out to a 2-0 advantage. Chung Hae-jin came back, tied it up at 2-2. It was tied 3-3 after the 3rd set, 4-4 after the 4th set, and came down to the final arrow. And Tanya Ting tacked on a 10. Another 10 for Tan, and that one was one of the biggest of her career. And she walks off with the bronze medal. But a great effort by Chung Hae-jin. And really the first time today that Korea has come away empty-handed.
That's very true. And I mean, again, I can't stress this enough. That was a very, very tight match. And it's not like she failed at her job. She did exactly what she needed to do. Sometimes you just get unlucky. And that one could have just been chalked up to luck. But Tanya Ting definitely has the skill to be able to put it in the middle when it needs to be done. And she did it.
So now we move on to the women's gold medal match, and another chance for Korea, but also a chance for the Russian Federation. Ksenia Perova, number 3 after qualifying this week. And Ksenia Perova went through the eliminations, rolling past Katuna Lorig 7-3, defeating Kristina Timofeyeva 7-3, and scoring a 6-4 win over Tanya Ting. That opened your eyes, just the fact that she was able to beat Tanya Ting.
And well, it just shows that everybody is human and everybody is beatable. So there's a lot of people saying that Koreans are never beatable. Well, here's the photo and video evidence of that. And I mean, it just goes down to your training ethic. What are you willing to do to be able to be the best in the world?
She'll be up against one of the best in the world right here, Jae Sun, number 1 after qualifying. The great Korean archer, coming through the eliminations with victories over Alejandra Valencia 6-0. Tuyana Dashidorjeva beat her in a shoot-off, but then and defeated Chung Hae-jin 7-1. So Jae Sun, 19 years old, number 1 in the world, 9.3, right around 9.4 points per arrow. 27 victories in her brief career already, and has had success before here on Konialty Beach. In fact, a year ago here in Antalya, won gold medals here. In fact, defeated Kibo Bay on Konialty Beach with the gold medal here in Antalya in just her 3rd international appearance. So can Ksenia Perova do what Tanya Ting just did? Defeat one of the mighty Korean archers. Jae Sun opens with a 9. And Perova was very strong this morning in team competition.
Yeah, she was. And I mean, I was reading some of the live chat that was going on during the match, and a lot of people saying that she has a little bit of an unconventional form. And my answer to that is yes, she does. But whatever form you choose to do, if you do it consistently, you could be shooting with an anchor on your eyeball. It doesn't matter what you do. You just do it exactly the same every single time.
Didn't Oh Jin Yek also have an unconventional form?
Yeah, and I mean, and he's an Olympic champion.
Yeah.
Victor Rubin has an unconventional form.
Yes, he
to
does.
Some people, because he's got a thumb tucked in behind his neck, and he
Right.
also doesn't shoot with a finger sling on the bow hand. And I mean, that's unconventional, but he did it consistently, and he won the Olympics with it. It doesn't matter how you shoot. It just matters if you can be good at doing it and consistently do it the same way all the time.
Oh, so close. Ksenia Perova came so close to winning that set right there. That last shot just out of the 10 ring.
Yeah, and she needed that 10 to take that set, but we're tied at 1.
So settle back, relax. We may be in for another nail biter. Who knows? After watching that match between Tanya Ting and Chung Hee-jin, now Chae Sun of Korea trying to come through and win another gold medal for her nation. 3 gold medals already, but all of them have come in team competition. This would be the first individual gold medal of the day for Korea. And of course, it would be absolutely huge for Russia and Ksenia Perova to pull off the upset.
Well, you can hear the big Russian contingent that's in the crowd right now cheering her on and giving her as much support as possible. And sometimes the Koreans are some people that actually ship loads of people to the Olympics to be a cheering squad so that their archers can get a good support base even from the stand. So Russia has hopped onto that one, and they're doing exactly the same thing.
Chae Sun. Both open with 9s. Perova ranked 27th in the world. Chae Sun number 1. And shooting like number 1 in the world. Advantage Korea.
And that's a clinch.
And 2 more set points going to the Korean archer Chae Sun. And I don't want to just harp on a point, but I still think back to that last arrow for Perova at the end of the first set. And what a difference that would make in this match right now. It would be tied 2 apiece.
Yeah, it would be.
Instead of her being down 3-1.
Yeah, and it's right now what Perova's got is I affectionately call nining yourself to death. You just keep shooting 9s, and you just surround the 10 ring, and you scare it.
May I be smitten by that.
And you've scared the 10 ring, but you've got it pinned down. It's not going anywhere. So what she just needs to do now, in my experience, is just have that relaxed follow through. And the 9s usually come from just trying a little bit harder than what you need to do. If you just relax and try soft.
Just let it come.
And let it come. Then that's when the 10s start to come out. And archery is not one of those sports that you can, like muscle through or anything.
Right.
There's a lot of sports that look like you have to muscle through. Like an example my coach and I used last night was weightlifting. There is muscling through and everything, but at some point you just need to relax and let everything happen.
Perova, let's see if she can let it flow. It flows low.
Yeah, still a 9 though. It's just out, but much closer than Perova's arrow.
Ksenia.
There it is.
Hits pay dirt.
Yeah, she's happy.
That put a smile on her face.
And you have to do that. It's better for your mind if when you shoot well, that's a good shot. She's just going to answer with that. When you shoot well, it is better for you to reaffirm yourself of your good shooting, of your good shot, of the good thing that you just did and accomplished. And putting a smile on your face, even though you might have to force the smile onto your face, is actually a good thing for your brain.
She may have to force a smile right here if Chae Sun does what I expected that she would do, and she did, and she put that set away and goes up 5-1. And it's just those little moments. I mean, the score is misleading. It's 5-1. You would think that Jamie Sun is running away with this thing. Perova's been in it. She's had some great shots. She's had opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, they tied the first set, and Choi has won by a single point in each subsequent set. So it's not a runaway match for sure, and I agree with you 100% that the set score numbers can be misleading to the actual raw score that was shot on the field of play.
That being said, Jamie Sun taking advantage of the opportunities, being solid when she has to be, coming up with answers, counter-punching. When Perova shot that 10, what's Jamie Sun do? She counter-punches. She comes back with a 10 of her own.
Yeah.
And that plays on the mind. So
yes, it does. Sometimes a part of me wonders if Koreans just like hold off on shooting 10s until their competition has shot a 10 and say, okay, I'm going to match that and maybe shoot one more 10 than you do just to take that set away from you.
Perova still got a chance, though. If she can win the next 2 sets, she can force a shoot-off. And that's got to be her mindset right now.
That's a good
She
shot.
falls behind early on here in the 4th set.
Something to note, though, is that Perova doesn't have any arrows outside the gold, where Choi has 1. So that's a positive way of thinking of things.
What were you talking about, nining yourself to death a minute ago?
Yeah, she has been nining herself to death.
That may be the case. Jamie Sun with a 9 herself, but she's still got the 1-point advantage in the set. Perova absolutely, positively needs to put the point of this arrow in the middle of the target. Does not. She's at the mercy right now of Jamie Sun. And the 19-year-old from Korea shows no mercy. It's over.
That was a very confident shot to take that match and the win for the gold medal. And a lot of archers you might see sometimes just tie up a little bit on that last shot, thinking a little bit too much, but she just went up there, brought that string back to her face, pulled her arrow through that clicker, and shot the confident shot she always does. And that's Korea's first individual gold medal of the day.
And their 4th of the day.
And their 4th of the day, but not bad shooting at all by Ksenia Perova at all.
And it sounds like we're sugarcoating it, Crispin. It's a 7-1 score is the final score. But Perova's right there in it.
She is.
And it goes back to what you were saying a minute ago. You can look at these scores and go, that was a lopsided match. Not really.
No, not at all. Just 1 point is the difference between gaining 2 set points and possibly only tying it with 1. So, I mean, I can't say enough about Perova's shooting. I mean, it's the same thing about Chang's shooting last match against Tanya Ting. These women are showing their strengths out here on the field of play. Perova only losing by one point in raw score each set, except for the last one where she lost by 2. And, I mean, it was good shooting by both archers. And Choi Mi-sun just came out a little bit better each time, but that little bit better added up to the gold medal.
So the gold goes to Jamie Sun. Ksenia Perova of Russia gets the silver, and Tanya Ting. Boy, did she earn the bronze medal with her victory over Chung Hae-jin. So looking back on this season, Korea's Ju Hae-bin defeated Tanya Ting for the gold medal in Shanghai. Then it was Jamie Sun blanking Wu Jiajin of China 6-0 in Medellin. And again, it's Jamie Sun winning here in Antalya, the 3rd stage of this year's Outdoor World Cup Tour. Of course, it was Jamie Sun winning a year ago here in Antalya, defeating Kibo Bay that day.
So she's used to this.
Yes, and I think she's come to like Konialty Beach. I'm sure she finds it very much to her liking. As we look at the brackets right there for the men leading up to the bronze and gold medal matches for the men, the final 2 matches of the weekend. Looking at the standings, Chef Vandenberg was on top after Shanghai with 25 points as he defeated Zach Garrett of the United States in China. Zach picking up 21 points. After Medellin, though, Brady Ellison had taken the lead with 26 points. Chef Vandenberg still in second with 25. Wei Chung Heng with 23 points in 3rd place. Zach Garrett in 4th place with 21 points. But right now, we're going to find out if Atanu Das and Kim Woo-jin can work their way into that conversation. as the men's bronze medal match is about to begin. Atanu Das, fourth after qualifying this week. The young Indian archer with a 7-3 win over Florian Floto, a 6-0 win over Mexico's Oldar Zomara, and a 6-2 win over Wei Chun Hang. Eventually wound up losing to Korea's Kuban Chan 6-0. So the young man who collects stamps in his spare time, according to what I'm told.
Wow.
Stamp collector.
At 22.
Now he's trying to collect another medal. He collects all kinds of things.
I think Kim collects medals.
Yes. Kim Woo-jin with a 6-4 win over Anton Krylapov this week. Defeated Brady Ellison 6-2 before losing to Lee Sung-yun 7-3. Kim Woo-jin, number 1 in the world, 23 years old, averaging 9.5 per arrow, and has made the bold statement, we've discussed this before, he has said, he's gone on record as saying, I will beat Im's record at the Olympics in Rio.
We'll see what happens there.
It's good to set set goals for yourself.
Set goals as high as you can possibly get them. Yeah.
And when you make it public, you put more pressure on yourself and you say, hey, I'm willing to accept that challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I admire him for doing that.
Yeah.
You know, the athletes who are interviewed afterwards who say, yep, and nope. Not as interesting as guys like Kim Woo-jin who say, you know what, Im Dong-yeon's record, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, why not?
Right now he's going to go for the bronze
medal. Yeah.
Kim Woo-jin, number 2 after qualifying this week. What a pair of team gold medals in Medellin, but finished 8th individually down in Colombia at stage 2. So did not get to a medal match, and he comes out with an 8 here.
It's a little weird because he's starting off on the other side of the target that all the archers started off on. So maybe he was trying to do a preemptive sight move before getting onto the field and just moved it a little bit too much. I don't know, but we'll see what happens with this shot.
Is that thinking it through too much, you think?
It could be. It very much could be. You can also see how much sweat is glistening off of his face right now. It is hot out there.
It is reflecting off of the artificial surface, but right now, that bright sun is shining brightly on Atanu Das with back-to-back 10s. He's in great position to take this first set.
And also the only male archer who's not a Korean in the finals.
So needs an 8. Atanu Das, 24 years old, 52nd in the world. And he gets the 10 he needed. 3-10 straight across the board.
It's a very, very good way to open up against an archer like Kim Woo-jin.
Much like Tanya Ting, who opened up and took a 2-0 advantage in her match against Chung Hae-jin. Atanu Das comes out and grabs a 2-0 lead with 3 straight 10s. The judge for our match, Shahzad Alahari of Iran. And looking back on this past season so far, it was Wei Chun Heng who won the bronze medal in China with a 7-3 win over Mexico's Ernesto Boardman. In Medellin, it was Kuban Chan with a 7-3 win over Kikuchi Hideki of Japan. And last year here on Coney Alty Beach was an all-American match. Colin Klimenchek defeating Brady Ellison a year ago on this very beach, right here, right there, right in that spot.
It's a historic beach for
Yeah,
archery.
it really is.
Yeah.
Been a lot of arrows fired and shot on this beach.
Yeah. And funny you should mention Colin Klimenchek and Brady because they recently had their final Olympic trials that was held in Florida a few weeks ago. And the 3 men named to their team was the team that you saw earlier today, which was Brady, Zach, and Jake. That's a very good shot.
Atanu Das, 4 straight 10s.
And what happened after that was Colin Klimenchek wasn't, I think he ranked 5th or 6th at their trials. And I don't think he wanted to, he put a very, very good message up on his Facebook about basically his road to getting to where he was and why he did what he does and what's going to happen to him after this whole Olympic, wow.
Look at that, 5 in a row, continue.
This whole Olympic journey that he's been on. So anybody who can find Colin Klimenchek's Facebook and check out his message that he wrote after their Olympic trials, it's very well written, and I commend that man for what he said and how he put it.
That 10 by Kim Woo-jin may be too little too late. Atanu Das going for it and got the 9 he needed, and he's got a 4-0 advantage in the match.
And you can hear some people in the crowd really, really hoping for that last 10, and I think I heard some people going, oh. But
Yeah,
still, it's a win.
It's a win. He takes the set, he takes the 2 points, and he's got the largest lead of the day of any archer over a Korean archer.
Yeah, and not even just a Korean archer, Kim Woo-jin, Korean archer.
Yes. The man many think may take the gold medal in Rio.
And I'm really sad I didn't look it up before coming here, but I should have looked up who won the 2012 final stage before the Olympics in 2012. But I know in
That's a good, yeah.
2008, Victor Rubin had won Beauvais, France, which was the final stage before the Olympics
in Beijing,
and he went on to win the Olympics in Beijing. So for anybody who wants to do some extra studying off on the side, take a look to see the final stage, which was held in Ogden, Utah in 2012, and find out who won there and see if that's the same person who won the 2012 Olympics, which was Oh Jin-hyuk.
You have your homework assignment. And Kim Woo-jin has his work cut out for him right here. We're going to find out something about him in this situation. The Koreans are known for their mental fortitude, their toughness. He's down 4-0 in the match. He comes out, he shoots a 10.
And just out. That's about a millimeter out. And I think Atanu Das felt like it was a 10, but unfortunately for him, it's just sitting outside the 10 ring.
Atanu Das trying to win his first individual World Cup medal. He's got 6 team World Cup medals, trying to break through on his own. And right now, Kim Woo-jin's trying to break back. Pair of 9s, and Das may be about to relinquish the first set he's given up so far today. Kim Woo-jin staying calm, cool, and collected, and putting a string of 3 10s together to take the set.
And that is exactly what he needed at this point in the match.
So Atanu Das will surrender this set to Kim Woo-jin. Not so much surrender it. Kim Woo-jin just took a hold of that and grabbed that sucker and said, it's mine.
And he ran.
Yeah. Says, nah, I want this one. No, I'm done.
Yeah.
We're not playing anymore.
I think Kim is just getting a feel for the field again, and I mean, his opening arrow was that 8 out to the left, so maybe he's just reacclimatizing to that field of play, and who knows what we're going to see in the next set. But I mean, Kim needs to win this next set to keep himself alive, or at least tie. But Atanu Das is 1 set win away from upsetting Kim Woo-jin.
Needs 3 great arrows to upset the #1 archer in men's recurve, a man who was ranked #1 in 2011, Kim Woo-jin was. Won the 2011 World Championships in Torino, a team gold medal there in Italy as well. Won the World Cup final in 2012 in Tokyo. Then in 2015 went on a tear, won 8 World Cup medals, finished off the year with a bronze medal and a mixed team gold medal at the World Cup finals in Mexico City, and also along the way won a world title in Copenhagen, along with the team gold medal.
I told you, he collects medals.
He collects medals. Atanu Das collects stamps. This man collects medals. Atanu Das trying to add to his medal collection, though, as well. He's got a chance right here. He can come through with a 10. Oh, so close. That's saying about an inch being as good as a mile. It's a 9.
Unfortunately, on the scorecard, it doesn't say 9. Just out. It
just
out.
Says
9.
It was that close. No doubt about that one.
I think the coach knew it, too.
Das
That
does
was a
it.
good shot. Had good timing, had good rhythm, good power off the string, and I'm not surprised it's a 10.
Great battle going on between Atanu Das and this man, Kim Woo-jin. Kim connects again. So a world of pressure on Atanu Das. Got it. Got it. They split the set. And the lead goes to 5-3 in favor of Tanu Das from India.
I'm wondering how Kim feels about that, getting a 29 and only getting a single point for that. I'm sure that he's used to 2 points for his 29s because it's a little bit intimidating, but Tanu Das did not blink on that at all and said, if you're going to shoot a 29, and I've already had one out, I'm going to make sure that I don't let you have everything.
You know, and this is going to sound a little self-serving, I guess, but, you know, every time I've watched Tanu Das in the past, I thought, he's really a talented young guy. And I'm not at all surprised he's in this match, and I'm not at all surprised he's doing this well. I really have admired his skill and the way he approaches his work and how he handles himself out there on the line.
Yeah, I agree with you, absolutely. I saw him compete the first time, I think back in 2010 or 2011, and he's been a good high-ranking name on the Indian team for a while now, on a team with guys like Talakdar and Champia and Banerjee, and like those guys are their pride.
But I think Tanu Das is not only their future, I think he's also their present right now.
Yeah.
Leading 5-3, but that brings out the best in Kim Woo-jin in 100-degree heat. Triple digits. If you're measuring it by Fahrenheit, about 40 degrees Celsius. It is hot, and it has been all weekend. But Kim Woo-jin battling the heat, trying to battle Tanu Das and putting the pressure on.
Now I'm going to make the statement of, could we see our first tiebreak of the day?
It could very well happen. Tanu Das with a 10. He's not out of it.
And what Tanu Das needs now is for Kim to shoot a 9 and for Das to shoot a 10.
And then it'd be all over.
And it'd be all over. But we'll see what happens with this.
Kim not in the mood to cooperate.
And we're going to the shoot-off.
He takes the set. He comes back. He was down 4-0. And Tanu Das, how does he feel after shooting a 29? Huh?
Getting no set points for a 29. And
no love at all.
Forcing it down to the shoot-off for the bronze medal. I mean, loser goes away with nothing here. It's, yeah, that's a little bit of pressure that they're feeling. Or they could just be having a great time going, wow, this is awesome shooting. I'm glad I'm here. This is where I belong, and I'm going to keep everything rolling as a great shooter on this field of play.
We're having a great time. Hope you are too. He's Crispin Duenas. I'm Carl Archie. You are who you are, wherever you are, whatever time of day it may be in this wide world.
And I hope they're enjoying watching this archery, because this is the closest archery we've seen in a little while on the World Cup circuit.
That women's bronze medal match, and now this men's bronze medal match, it's going to a shoot-off. The women's did not go to a shoot-off. This one is. Tanu Das had a 4-0 lead after the first two sets, was up 4-2 after the third, led 5-3 after the fourth, but Kim Woo-jin comes through in the clutch, which really is the trademark of almost every Korean archer. The ability to answer in those kind of clutch situations. He almost looks like he's enjoying the moment.
And that's really, really different from what we've seen with Koreans maybe as close as 10 years ago. Most of the time, if anybody remembers a shooter named Park Sung-hyun, she never showed any emotion on the field of play, and we're starting to see a little bit more emotion from the Koreans, but that has not affected their game at all. They still come out and they still do the job that they need to do in order to put the arrows in the middle.
If you're wondering how these two gentlemen have done in tiebreaker situations, Tanu Das has won only one tiebreaker in his career. Kim Woo-jin has won 5 shoot-offs in his career. 5 of his 58 career wins have come via a shoot-off.
And also Kim Woo-jin on the last shot, because both archers shot a 10 on the last shot, Kim's last arrow was closer to the center than Tanu Das's. So we're going to see what happens if they've made any adjustments or they're going to keep everything the same. Tanu Das has had enough room to do a sight move to make his arrow possibly closer to the center on this next shot. We're going to see what happens when we get underway once the targets are reset and the scoring system is recalibrated. You can see them down on the far side of the field. They have to staple the targets down because there's a couple lasers that come across the top and the side of these target frames that measure the distance called, it's from a system called Falco Eye, and it gives us a very accurate result. Of course, we still have to go down range and check it and make sure that everything is working properly, but we're going to see what happens now. Kim Woo-jin will be shooting first for the tiebreak, followed by Atanu Das. And here we go with our first tiebreak of the day.
All right, all bets should be down by now. No more bets being placed.
Yep.
Here we go, shoot-off time. And that heart rate must be up for Kim Woo-jin as well as Atanu Das. Who can handle that pressure better? Kim Woo-jin with a 10.
Very good 10.
But there's still room.
There's still room. That's about a 10.4 if you're really measuring. So Atanu Das has a little bit of room to play with.
Atanu Das.
Whoa!
Is it too close to call? I think
looking-
it's going to take a judge's decision.
We have our whole team looking at the Falco Eye screens
Wow.
right now, off to our left, and you can see that it is.
One went left, one
close.
went right,
Oh
and they're
my.
both. Wow. Too close for us to call it right now.
We cannot call it. There's nothing going on. We need a
What
camera.
a match.
We need a camera on that judge downrange right now to see what was going on. This is the closest match of the day.
Anxious moment, to say the very least, for Kim Woo-jin, and Kim Woo-jin gets the decision. It goes to the Korean archer, and what a comeback for Kim Woo-jin. Wow.
That is awesome shooting by both archers. Again, like I've said for the past two matches, both of the past two matches for the women have been amazing, and now we've just had our first shoot-off, probably decided by a millimeter or two, but Kim Woo-jin comes out on top, shooting his arrow slightly closer to the middle than Atanu Das. And he looks relieved, and I'm very happy to get out of the sun.
That was a sigh of relief, yeah. He exhaled right there. And Kim Woo-jin with an amazing comeback, an amazing performance by Atanu Das at the same time, but Kim Woo-jin's final arrow in the shoot-off, we'll have to find out just how much closer it was. It could not have been by much. Not by much at all. It was too close to call from our vantage point, but the target judges doing a great job down there. In fact, Crispin Duenas is going to go over and check that to find out just how close that was. The target judges today are Mike Cullenber and Katie Lipscomb, and they proved to be instrumental in the outcome of that match as it went to the shoot-off. Kim Woo-jin coming back from 4-0 deficit, down 4-0. He won the third set, dropped the fourth set. So he won that third set, dropped the fourth set, then won the fifth set, tied it up at 5-all, sent it to a shoot-off, and Kim Woo-jin wins his sixth tiebreaker of his career. So the sixth tiebreaker of his career, and the 23-year-old who has said he will beat Im Dong-yeon's record at the Olympics in Rio comes away with a thrilling, heart-stopping win in the blazing heat of Antalya, Turkey. And how close was it, Crispin Duenas?
They wouldn't give me an exact measurement because we couldn't see it actually on the system. The judge downrange actually had to take out her calipers and measure by hand the closeness of it, and it just turns out by hand that Kim Woo-jin was that much closer. And it's basically like you take, for anybody who doesn't know how this is operated, you basically get calipers or a compass, and you put one pin on the exact center of the target and sweep it out to one of the arrows, and then you go to the next target and you compare that exact distance, and Kim Woo-jin was just closer.
That's one of those cases where you measure twice, I think.
Yeah.
You got to measure twice when it comes down to being that close. Kim Woo-jin winning the bronze medal, and now Kuban Chan and his Korean counterpart Lee Sung-yeon will battle it out for the gold medal with Maria Larkina as the line judge for this match. Our final match of the day, our final match of the weekend. By the way, for those of you watching in the States, happy Father's Day. Is it Father's Day in Canada?
In Canada as well.
All
so
right, okay.
Happy Father's Day to my dad, too.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day to me. And to my beloved dad. as well. All right, here we go. The men's gold medal match. What an afternoon it's been. The shoot-off won by Kim Woo-jin. Tanya Ting winning her big match over Chung Hye-jin. And the Koreans have been challenged. You've got to say that here this afternoon. Folks have not been backing down. Of course, the Koreans have risen to the challenge.
Yep, and they, for
the
men,
most part,
have swept the podium. So that's great for the men.
So Koo Ban-chan versus Lee Sung-yeon. Koo Ban-chan took down Jayanta Talukdar, who you mentioned a moment ago, the Indian archer, defeated him 6-2. Knocked off Ernesto Boardman 6-0. Atanu Das defeated him 6-0. In his 4 matches, he lost only 2 sets and gave up only 4 points. Meanwhile, Lee Sung-yeon took down Taylor Worth 7-3, defeated Kim Woo-jin by the same score, won his 4 matches, surrendering only a total of 9 points. That's how good these guys have been this week here in Antalya. Let's see how good they can be today and what they can bring out in each other. I suspect they'll bring out the best. Lee Sung-yeon. He's so calm and placid.
He was, and even when he won the World Championships in 2013, I remember looking at his face going, I would be so much more happy than what he's showing right now. And I mean, I was happy to win the bronze medal. I mean, I couldn't
tell.
I don't even know what I would have done if I won the gold medal. I might have gone through the ground instead of ending up on the ground. But yeah, sometimes you just need that complacency to perform at the level that you need to have. And what I say with that is the arousal level of some archers will differ. I'll take that back. The arousal level of every archer will differ from the archer next to them, just because of where you need to be to get your optimal performance. And for Lee, maybe it's just in that arousal level of just being calm, collected, and not quite asleep, but not showing lots of emotion while you're on the shooting line.
Never too high, never too low. He just stays very even-keeled during his matches, and you watch his expression, and it rarely will change.
Yeah.
We did see that with Kim Woo-jin, though. You could see it during the different stages of the match.
Yes.
Although he did a great job to keep his composure. A little bit more expressive. Lee Sung-yeon, about as calm as those seas you see behind the grandstands here along the Mediterranean.
With some archers as well, they have to have that outlet of having that expression just come out. It's kind of like a relief, and it's kind of like recharging your battery, because that's the type of personality that they have. Maybe sometimes that if you can stay stoic the whole time, great. But for other people, doing that actually takes a lot more energy to do, and you burn your energy just trying to stay calm. So you need to have that outlet, and maybe that's the way that Kim Woo-jin operates.
Koo Ban-chan connects. Down 2-0 in the match. Trailing his teammate Lee Sung-yeon, 21 years old, ranked 8th in the world, and he comes through again. On either target. Pick your target.
Pretty much guaranteed when you have a Korean shooting, there are going to be a bunch of 10s down there.
10s down there.
And the wind seems to be picking up.
It's a nice cooler wind, too.
It is, but it looks like it's going out towards the ocean.
It comes and it goes here on Koniolti Beach. And that one may have pushed that arrow way out to the right.
That's exactly what the direction of the wind. And a 10 is needed to tie for Lee, just to maintain his 2-point lead.
It is mostly what he's been shooting so far today. He gets that 10, he ties it up, they split. Lee Sung-yeon maintains the lead, but now it's 3-1.
I also have to say a note that Lee Sung-yeon is the highest level archer I've seen using a wrist attachment on his finger tab, and it's made by a brand called Fivix. And what it does is attaches to the finger tab, the palm plate, and there's a little extension that comes back towards the forearm, and it actually stops probably about 2 or 3 centimeters past the hinge in your wrist, maybe about an inch past the hinge in your wrist. And you can see it on the TV here. His wrist stays pretty straight, and there it is, that little attachment. And what that shows me is that Lee probably has a habit of hinging at the wrist to come through the clicker, which is actually pretty bad form because you start to employ different muscles than you actually should be using to get your arrow through the clicker. And that's something that it looks like he needs to have to
This
shoot
helps
well.
correct that then.
Yeah, exactly. But whatever you need to have on your equipment to make you shoot in the middle, that's what you should be having. And a lot of people might say that that looks like it's a beginner's tool or whatnot, but here he is in the gold medal match at one of the highest scoring World Cups ever, shooting with this apparatus.
These matches will stand these Korean archers in good stead once they get to Rio because they're being tested here. Right now, Lee Seung-yeon is battling Kuban Chan, but Kim Woo-jin was really pushed to the limit by Atanu Das. And I think that's why the Koreans came. Their focus is on Rio, not as much on the World Cup this summer. And the calm, cool, collected Lee Seung-yeon collects another 10, tied up at 19 in this set.
Yeah, it is something to note that Korea didn't have to be here.
No.
They chose to be here, and unlike Team China.
The Chinese team did not come.
Exactly. They didn't need to be here, so they said, why would we send our archers over and make them tired and all that type of stuff, just because we want them to have tournament experience. But the Koreans know the value of being in this level of tournament at this much during the year, just to make sure that their archers are well-tuned and well-prepared for anything that can happen in Rio. And we just had a tied set there from both Lee and Koo, I think at 29 points. Yep, 29 points. And they split the set, and it is now 3-1.
No, 4-2, I think.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
4-2.
4-2.
In favor of Lee. It was 3-1.
So interesting. I mean, for years we've been talking about Oh Jin-hyuk and Im Dong-hyun. Those guys are off the stage now. They're out of the picture, and it's a whole new set of faces, a whole new set of stars for Korea. Don't count out Kuban Chan. I think he could win a gold medal. Any one of these guys could win the gold medal.
Yeah. And for Korea, I think the age that Im Dong-hyun and Oh Jin-hyuk have reached is actually on the old side of their archers. I think they're considered kind of too old to be a competitor at this level. And as much as you don't want ageism to come into this, I mean, it's quite evident right now from this young Korean team and the results that they're getting that youth might have something to do with their program.
Yeah, youth is served. And turning 30 is tough.
Yep, happened to me earlier this year.
You poor kid, you. Just wait.
It's kind of fun to note that some of the coaches here are my age.
And you're still out there doing it.
I am. Can't get rid of me.
Nor do we want to. All even here in this set.
9 and a 10 can win this gold medal for Lee Seung-yeon.
Lee Seung-yeon usually comes through in situations like this. He's got golden opportunity presented to him. Can he put it away? Lee Seung-yeon for the gold. Got it.
10-10 gets it.
Had to wait for just a second to make sure, but that's another 10 for Lee Seung-yeon. And Lee Seung-yeon comes through and wins the gold medal. Kuban Chan will take home the silver. And it is a sweep for the Koreans in the men's competition here at stage 3.
Wasn't an easy sweep because of what Kim had to do with Atanu Das. Had to win his shoot-off for the bronze medal. And here we have Lee winning the gold medal over Kuban Chan. And it looks like the senior Kuban Chan congratulating Lee on a job well done.
And no real surprise, Lee Seung-yeon won the gold medal a year ago here in this very spot in Antalya on Konyaaltı Beach. And he was the world champion back in 2013, the year that you won the bronze medal. He won the gold medal.
Yep.
Just up the beach in Belek.
Yeah. Turkey seems to be his stomping grounds, apparently.
So he is a former world champion and a World Cup gold medalist here in Antalya. Last year, he repeats, winning this year. So if you're keeping score at home this year in Shanghai, it was Chef Vandenberg defeating Zach Garrett 7-3 for the gold medal at stage 1. In Medellin, it was Brady Ellison beating Miguel Alvarinho 7-1 for the gold medal there. And here in Antalya, Lee Sung-yeon makes it back-to-back gold medals on the beach in Konyaaltı Beach in Antalya. Last year, he defeated Kim Woo-jin. This year, he takes down Kuban Chan.
That's a good win percentage over your teammates.
He's an equal opportunity champion.
Yeah.
Just means that Korea is going to be so formidable when we get to Rio for the Olympics. You know, I can't get that shoot-off out of my mind. You know, the last two arrows being so close, it brought back the memory in a different sort of a way, I suppose, from the shoot-off in Belek back in 2013.
Yes.
Was it Maya Yeager and...
an archer from China, I believe.
I'm trying to remember who it was.
Yeah,
I know it was Maya Yeager.
But definitely Maya Yeager versus...
But I remember if you had taken the two targets and laid them one over the other, the hole would have been in almost exactly the same spot.
Yes, and that's where the calipers come into play, because they need to measure accurately by hand what the actual lie of the arrows is, which one is just that much closer. And it has happened before that arrows do land exactly in the same distance from the middle of the target. But in that case, I mean, that was a very close one. I remember being in the archer's waiting box in behind the scenes and watching that match, and then going, okay, they're taking it to a tie break, and I got to wait even longer. And then they shot their arrows, and
As if you hadn't waited long enough.
Yeah. And they shot their last arrows, and I saw where the arrows were positioned, and said to myself, it's very possible they're going to shoot another arrow after this. But it came out with Maya Yeager on top.
By that much.
By that much. And
Just
same thing here
much.
between Kim and Das. And they were so closely matched, but Kim came out on top.
So it is all over. Recurve Sunday has come to an end, and what a great afternoon it's been, with some terrific matches here this afternoon. Two that went the full five, one that went, actually, we got some bonus coverage in the men's bronze medal match as it went to the shoot-off. In fact, the only shoot-off we had all day long.
Did we have any shoot-offs yesterday?
I believe we did, as I'd have to go back and check. Let me go back. I've got my records. I keep my score sheets. I believe we did have a shoot-off yesterday. It's been such a long, hot weekend, kind of hard to remember. Let's see. I believe Yashim Bostan defeated Marcella Tonioli in a shoot-off.
Yeah.
Yes, in a bronze medal yesterday afternoon. Yeah, that's the one I do remember. And the memory cells are starting to die off, so I need more RAM. But some great matches this weekend here in Antalya. And again, our hats off to the local organizing committee that does such a tremendous job year in and year out. This is just a traditional stop on the World Cup Tour. It's a can't-miss stop. Over 500 archers coming this year. People love coming here. And, of course, they attracted a big crowd of recurve archers trying to get to the Olympics and nail down a berth in Rio.
It was bigger than Copenhagen's World Championships last year. So there's a lot of people who were out here vying for those spots, and there was a lot of emotion on the field when I was watching all of the archers and looking at the archers who win and the archers who lost, and seeing, tears no matter which way it went.
Tears of joy and tears of
a little bit
sadness.
of pain. Sadness,
Yeah, disappointment and a lot of hard work.
But to any good athlete out there, it doesn't have to be an archer, but anybody who's got that drive, sometimes the disappointment drives you harder. And I think that's what's going to happen with a bunch of the athletes here. And having talked with some other athletes saying that they had their chance here, and 4 years from now, they are not going to waste that opportunity again. And I've been in that situation in 2004 when I was one of the up-and-comers and almost made it onto our Olympic team in 2004. But I used that drive of not getting that spot.
That was your motivation, yeah.
to get onto the 2008 team and say, what am I going to do that's going to separate me from everybody else?
You know, and every great athlete has to do that, has to find that, and what keeps them going. Even the athletes who've had success, now they've got to find new motivation. People always talked about, say in basketball, Michael Jordan. He won so many championships. He would invent things to motivate him and to keep him going. But whatever it is, whatever you need, and it's a long time between games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of arrows you're going to be shooting for a lot of days and a lot of time.
A lot of years ahead.
A lot of years ahead if you want to get back to the point where you can vie for a spot to get to the next Olympic Games, which will be in Japan.
Yes.
So to those archers, we wish them well. We're sorry that, it'd be nice to take everybody down there.
Yeah,
it doesn't work that way.
Only 64 men and 64 women get to play at the Olympics, and it is a very elite field. And to be in the top 64 in the world, it's definitely something that doesn't come easy to everybody.
And if it did, it wouldn't matter as much.
Nope.
It wouldn't count as much, wouldn't mean as much.
No, exactly. You're right on that.
So what a weekend. All over with now here on Konyote Beach. You went by in almost what seems like now the blink of an eye.
I think this whole season has just gone by in a blink of an eye.
It really has.
Yeah.
It has been basically a 2-month outdoor season. Two stages in Shanghai and Medellin in May, and now this month, the third stage here in Antalya. Then we'll see everybody again, hopefully, those who have qualified for the World Cup finals in Denmark come September.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we'll enjoy the Olympic Games. And we'll enjoy watching the greatest recurve archers on the planet going at it for the gold medal down there. And who knows, maybe we'll see a shocking result. Somebody that you didn't expect who rises up.
You know what? It always happens. I can guarantee that you're going to see something shocking at the Olympics.
Something you didn't expect.
Yes.
I hope so. I hope so. Looking forward to that. In case you're just joining us, let's recap what's happened today here on Recurve Sunday. And once again, we want to wish all the dads out there a happy Father's Day. It started off with the women, though, early this morning here on Konyote Beach with the women's team medal match. Italy got out to a 4-0 lead, split the third set, and won the match over India. Italy taking the women's bronze medal 5-1. Then it was Korea getting the first gold medal of the day for the Koreans as they handled Russia in 4 sets, 6-2. On the men's side, the USA swept Brazil 6-0. Some good moments for the Brazilian archers this morning. Bernardo Oliveira putting some nice shots up, as well as Marcela Castro. But the USA just too strong with Brady Ellison, Zach Garrett, and Jake Kaminsky, the 3 archers who will be headed for Rio to represent the United States. The Americans coming away with the bronze medal and a 6-0 win. Then in the men's gold medal match, it was Korea in 3 sets over Mexico, winning that one by the score of 5-1. Then this afternoon, after our lunch break, wow, a 5-1 win for Chinese Taipei over Italy as Wei Chun Heng, along with Tanya Ting, showed their strength in mixed team competition. Then the Koreans won the gold medal in mixed team over India 5-1. We got into the individual matches, and it was Tanya Ting over Chung Hae-jin in a great match that went the full 5. Tanya Ting winning on the final arrow 6-4 to capture the bronze medal. And in the gold medal match, the score not really indicative of how close this was and how well it was competed by Ksenia Porova of Russia. Chae Sun winning it 7-1 as Ksenia Porova takes the silver. Chae Sun the gold, and Tanya Ting the bronze. And then in men's competition, maybe the best match of the day, maybe the best match of the weekend, one of the best we've seen all year. Kim Woo-jin coming back from 4 down to defeat Atanu Das in a tiebreaker that he won by the skin of his teeth, 6-5. And then here in the finals, it was Lee Seung-yeon over his teammate Koo Ban-chan for the gold medal. But here is the presentation of the medals now for mixed team competition. And these two have really become a big, big factor in mixed team.
Yeah, Tanya Ting has been very strong this whole season, and she has been showing her dominance on the female recurve side, and now in the mixed team, and just showing everybody that she is a force to be reckoned with and somebody you should be watching out for in Rio coming up this August.
Tanya Ting having a great season outdoors. Getting to the podium once again. And for such a tiny nation to have such a strong archery program, they've placed a lot of emphasis on that, obviously, and they're very proud of that. A great source of national pride for them, and big smile on the face of Atanu Das. There should be a big smile on his face. He's had a great day. Silver medal in mixed team, and came oh so close to getting the bronze medal.
Yeah, that was the closest match of the day. And Deepika Kumari having spent all day out here as well and shooting well, not only just fighting the heat and everything that comes along with the pressures of performing at this level, but she can smile and hold that trophy high.
And the gold medal going to the two Koreans. Hand in hand, Kuban Chan and Chae-Mi Sun. Big smiles. A day for a lot of smiles for the Korean contingent. And by the way, temperatures rapidly falling right now, Crispin, down to 95 degrees Fahrenheit.
Down to 95.
Down to 95,
Not
yeah.
something I like hearing. I'm used to Canadian weather. But this Korean team showing their form and their true tenacity and coming out with the gold medal and making sure that Korea got gold medals in every single gold medal match that they went into.
The medal is being presented by Antalya's deputy governor and the organizing committee president, and now the playing of the national anthem of Korea. Against the backdrop of the Taurus Mountains off to the west. The mountains guarding Antalya, Turkey from the west. The flags raised for Korea, India, and Chinese Taipei.
Get all the picture ops and everything, just everybody just absolutely happy that they have come out with medals given all the conditions that we had on the field of play. It was a longer than normal World Cup stage just because of all the Olympic qualifying that we had to do. Also the sheer number of people that we had here. It just lent itself to just excruciating amounts of time on fields of play that were just above 35 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius, and just scorching hot.
Hey, you haven't even mentioned the long lines at the buffet.
Yes, the food at the hotels was at the Rixos Hotel, which was one of the host hotels. And just across the road from the field was truly amazing. And they had lots of great Turkish cuisine, got to try a lot of Turkish desserts, which
Once you got through the line.
Yeah, once you got through the line.
Once you got through the line.
I kind of wanted to settle that I wasn't going to be losing weight on this trip from the diet, but I had to make sure that I paced myself with all of the food that was offered to us.
Well, I think the calories probably got taken care of by the heat.
Yeah.
So,
But
at least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I don't want to rely on that.
I'm sticking to that.
And here we are with the Recurve women's medal ceremony.
Women's recurve, again featuring Tanya Ting, Chae-Mi Sun, and Ksenia Parova. One of the great matches of the season being waged in the women's bronze medal match. Tanya Ting, what a year she's had. Boy, you just look at her season. Started off in Shanghai with a silver medal individually, then a mixed team silver and a team gold medal. 3 medals taken home from China at stage 1. Then in Colombia, she won the individual bronze medal and a mixed team bronze medal. And here she comes out, wins a bronze medal in mixed team competition, and comes back and wins the bronze medal in the individual play. She's had a year.
She's had
a great year.
And it's not even over yet. The biggest tournament of the year is still yet to come in Rio, and she looks like she is absolutely prepared to win that medal.
Would you consider her to be a dark horse or just one of the favorites?
I think she's one of the favorites.
One of the favorites
to
for the
be quite
gold.
honest, yes. I mean, there's going to be
I
a
think
lot of
right.
favorites, but she's definitely one of them. So congratulations to Tanya Ting. Bronze medal here, but it is a well-deserved bronze medal.
Just seems to have the right mindset to go in there in that situation, in that surrounding, that atmosphere, and be able to pull it off. Ksenia Parova with a strong performance today with the women's team and then on her own. I'm sure she regrets a shot here, a shot there, a couple of shots here or there. Might have gone a little bit differently.
Yeah, she was, well, we saw in her match that she just had a load of 9s, and I think 110? 1 or 2 10s, I think, at least 110, but she was definitely a little bit under the pressure, but it was still good shooting.
Jamie Sun, deserving of the gold medal. Doing what she had to do, shooting a great match against Ksenia Parova. It was tied after they split the opening set at 1-all. Then Jamie Sun won the next 3 sets, wound up winning the match 7-1, and stands atop the podium. One of many Koreans to walk away with the gold medal here in Antalya. Korea, Russia, and Chinese Taipei with the gold, the silver, and the bronze here in the women's recurve competition. As the victory ceremony continues here on Archery TV, we hope you've enjoyed our live shot-by-shot coverage, not just today, but all weekend long. And we'll remind you that we'll have our highlights packages, highlight shows put together and on worldarchery.org. Ideally, the plan is to have it up by Tuesday for those of you who may not have been able to watch everything all weekend long or want to relive the moments.
And they're great footage for, I think, archers and coaches to use as great examples of what you should be doing, because a lot of these archers have, some people just love the way a certain archer looks to them, and they want to emulate that and try to copy some of the stuff that they do form-wise or even sometimes equipment-wise. But it's a great way for you to see exactly what's going on this stage and how the professionals do it. So it's a great, I love the highlight packages that come out, and even the live stream. If you haven't seen the live stream, then you can still watch the whole event in its entirety and just pick out the matches that you want to see, or just pick out the individual matches in the highlight reels.
So those will be online as our friends from Korea give us the thumbs up. We'll see them in Brazil in just about 5-6 weeks from now, as we get set for the presentation of the medals to the men in recurve competition. Dr. Erdner, the president of World Archery, will be on hand to help hand out the hardware.
And I have to do a big shout out to all the volunteers that have been working. You can see them carrying the checks, the medals, and leading all of the archers. And they've been working tirelessly on the field of play. Even when it's hot, they're running the scorecards out to us. They're running the electronic scoring devices, fixing targets, fixing target stands, getting us water, getting everything completed. And the Turkish Archery Federation here has definitely gotten themselves a great little workforce of volunteers and staff to make this World Cup one of them to remember.
There's a lot of moving parts that go into staging a World Cup event. Of course, our great judges who are out here today,
Yes.
and played a big part in making sure everything went as it should. And I can only imagine, I mean, there's a lot of pressure when you get a shoot-off like we saw in that men's bronze medal match. You want to get it right.
You do.
You want to get it right.
You want to make sure that everything is exactly to the book. And there is the victor of that shoot-off, Mr. Kim Woo-jin, still glistening from all of the heat that's on the field of play, but he is probably very relieved and probably not doubting to say it. He probably wants some ice cream right now.
Battle tested, no doubt about that. And this match may help him down the road, having been pushed to the limit by Atanu Das and barely eking out the come from behind victory in what was one of the two most exciting matches of the day and one of the most of the weekend, one of the most exciting matches of the year. Kuban Chan, one of the happiest guys I've seen out there, really enjoys
Yeah, he enjoys what he does.
what
and
he does.
Every time you see him, like if I'm passing him in the hotel or on the archery range and everything, always says hi, and very personable guy. And I'm really glad that they don't still have a lot of Koreans who just stick to themselves and don't interact with a lot of the other archers. We see each other all year round, and he's definitely one of those guys that's memorable in myself and my teammates' eyes.
Well, the chance to have the cultural exchanges is invaluable, and I think that's I was thinking about it today, getting ready to come over, how important sports are in that respect. I mean, in the overall scheme of things, this is just athletics. It's a game, and we're all going to go home, and we all have our families and lives to live. But the ability to bring people together from around the globe, 500 people who came from distant parts of this planet, and all got along here this week, pretty much, and coexisted.
Yeah.
Nobody cut the food line,
Nope.
as far as I could tell, and just a great way to bring everybody together. Coming into stage 3, Brady Ellison was leading in points in the World Cup standings with 26 points. Chef Vandenberg had 25. Wei Chung Heng had 23. Zach Garrett with 21, as well as Miguel Alvarino. But now, as you look at these three archers, Lee Sung-yeon has certainly put himself squarely into the picture for the World Cup finals, as has Kuban Chan. And even, well, I don't know, Kim Woo-jin, it'll be interesting. Kuban Chan actually had 18 points, and he was in 6th place. So he'll pick up 21 more points. In fact, he may be our leader right now.
And Lee Sung-yeon puts himself right in the middle of the pack with Chef Vandenberg.
Right, from the Netherlands, who won stage 1 in China.
And unfortunately, you're only allowed 2 archers from each country, so Kim Woo-jin
Probably out of the picture.
Won't be going unless
Probably out.
unless something changes and Korea decides that they default one of their archers. But as far as the numbers say right now, Kim Woo-jin might not be going to the World Cup final despite all of his success.
Meanwhile, on the women's side, Tanya Ting, after Colombia, was leading with 39 points. She was ahead of Chemi Sun. Tanya Ting picked up, I believe, about 18 points today with her bronze medal. So she still may be, I'll have to take my shoes off and do the math. But it's going to be close because Chemi Sun had 25 points going into the competition today. She wins 25 more points. She'll have 50 points. I still think Tanya Ting will be ahead on the World Cup standings. But trying to think who else may have worked their way into the picture as well. Chemi Sun only improved her situation. Ksenia Perova possibly working her way into the picture. So it'll be interesting as we sort all this out and prepare for the World Cup finals coming up in Denmark in September, which seems like a long, long time from now. It's going to be interesting to see how the compound archers stay active, stay busy, keep themselves occupied as the Olympic Games are going on. But it will be interesting once we get to, it always is, when we get to the World Cup finals. And I'm
definitely
sure
will be different weather than here.
Oh, yes. I would imagine September in Denmark, a little bit slightly different.
Slightly chillier.
But always great.
It is.
Great hospitality, wonderful country. When we were in Copenhagen last summer.
Good candy.
Oh. Nihon.
And here we are seeing the Longines prize for precision, where each recurve archer who shot the most tens wins a Longines watch. And these things are something that are very coveted.
The winner of the Women's Recurve Precision Prize.
So the prize for precision from Longines.
The Republic of Korea. Chemi Sun.
Chemi Sun, #1 in the world, wins the watch. I'd say she's got it all working for her right now.
Yes, she is. It's a very good place to be right before the Olympics.
So Chemi Sun winning the Longines prize for precision, as does her teammate on the men's side, Kim Woo-jin. Also winning the Longines prize for precision. I'm not sure if he's not happier about that than he was the bronze medal.
Well, that is a very expensive watch he just won. And all he had to do was shoot more tens than everybody else.
That's all.
That's it.
That's it. Simple game. Really simple game. That's not so simple. So our congratulations to those two Korean archers. Just caps off a great day for Team Korea as Korea comes away with, let's add it all up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 medals.
It's a good haul.
7 medals on the day. And were they all gold? I believe that they were. Nope, 6 gold and 1 bronze.
Yes, so they won all the matches that they shot in the final.
An amazing performance and a great tune-up for Korea with the Olympics right around the corner. All right, so your favorite match of the day was?
You know what? I'm going to have to say it was the bronze medal in the men's because of the shoot-off. I think that was the closest match we saw, and it offers the best excitement for everybody watching. It offers a lot of stress on the archers for sure, but it showing how close these archers are matched in this level on this field is quite something to see. So my favorite match of the day was the bronze medal final for the men recurve.
And the women's bronze medal match, a very, very close second, one that was won by Tanya Ting. What a great weekend it's been here in Antalya, Turkey. Our thanks to Hyundai, Fila, Sport Toto, Longines, Hoyt Bows, and Easton Arrows for all the great support of World Cup archery. We congratulate all who medaled and all who came and competed here in Turkey. Now we pack our bags, head for home, actually, and then in about 2 months we'll head to Denmark in September for the World Cup finals. Once that little sports festival known as the Summer Olympic Games in Rio. Yeah, once they get that all settled down there in Rio and that's been completed. When that happens, we'll head to Denmark with our crew from Hit the Roof, and our hats off to the crew for braving the elements out here today and yesterday in extreme heat. And they brought you the live shot-by-shot coverage on World Archery TV. For my partner in crime, Canada's Crispin Duenas and the World Archery Federation, I'm Carl Arkey saying thanks for your time this time. Till next time, good morning, good afternoon, and good night from Konyaaltı Beach and the Turkish Riviera in Antalya, Turkey. So long, everybody.
See you later. Goodbye.
Wow.